I never imagined that one careless remark could destroy everything I believed was solid. My name is James, 33 years old, and until recently, I thought I understood the woman I was going to marry. Sarah and I met 5 years ago in a small cafe in Boston. She had a laugh that drew people in, a warmth that made the room feel brighter. From the start, she made me feel seen in a way I didn't know I needed. Life was busy. My job as a logistics manager wasn't exciting, but knowing I'd come home to her always made the long hours worthwhile. Our relationship wasn't perfect, but it was consistent. We had our routines, late-night movies, lazy weekends, dinners with friends. We trusted each other completely, or at least, I thought we did. Then one ordinary evening, that illusion cracked. I came home exhausted from work, shoulders heavy with deadlines. I expected her usual smile, maybe a hug, or a question about my day. Instead, she was sitting on the couch, scrolling through her phone. She looked up briefly and said, almost offhandedly, "You know, sometimes I wonder if Mark, my ex, would have handled things better." For a moment, I thought I'd misheard. "What did you say?" I asked, careful to keep my voice calm. She just shrugged, completely casual. "Nothing, just a thought." But it wasn't just a thought. It was a blow, a line you don't cross with someone you claim to love. That night, her words echoed in my head. I kept asking myself if I was overreacting. But no matter how I twisted it, it was still disrespect. A seed of comparison planted in the middle of what was supposed to be a partnership. Over the next few weeks, I started noticing changes. The way she avoided eye contact. The way her laugh, once genuine, felt forced. Conversations became shorter. Touches became rare. I told myself it was stress from her new job. I cooked dinner, cleaned the house, tried to make her smile again. Nothing worked. One Friday, I set the table with her favorite pasta, lit candles, even played the music she loved. She walked in, glanced at everything, and said flatly, "That's nice," before disappearing into the bedroom with her phone. My heart sank. It wasn't anger that hit me. It was emptiness. The quiet pain of realizing you're slowly becoming invisible to someone you love. I thought maybe we just needed time away from everything. So the next weekend, I surprised her with a trip, a quiet cabin by the lake, a place where we could talk, breathe, maybe find our way back to each other. When we arrived, she seemed distracted. She spent most of her time on her phone, responding to messages, barely glancing up. That evening, as we sat by the fire, I reached for her hand. She pulled it back quickly and said, "Not now, James." It felt like being punched without warning. It wasn't about that single gesture. It was what it represented, a growing distance that no amount of effort could bridge. The next morning, I woke early and made coffee. The lake shimmered in the soft light, calm and still, the complete opposite of what I felt inside. I kept hearing her voice, that comment about Mark. How could someone who promised forever casually compare me to her ex? When she finally came out, she smiled faintly, as if nothing had happened. I wanted to yell, demand answers, but all I managed was silence. We took a walk along the shore, talking about meaningless things, both pretending everything was fine. But I could feel the truth pressing between us. We weren't fine. We hadn't been for a long time. That afternoon, I finally asked her to sit down. My heart pounded as I said, "Sarah, do you still want this? Do you still want us?" For a moment, she just looked at me. Then she sighed, not sadly, but tiredly. "I don't know anymore, James. Maybe we just changed too much." Her words weren't cruel, but they were final. Something inside me broke, but alongside the pain came clarity. Love can't survive on history alone. It needs effort from both people, and I was the only one still fighting. I stood up, steadying my breath. If you don't want this anymore, then it's time to be honest. I can't keep holding on by myself. She looked down, eyes glistening, but she didn't stop me, didn't even try. That evening, I packed my things quietly. No shouting, no anger, just a heavy, deliberate calm. I gathered what mattered, a few clothes, my wallet, my phone charger, and stepped outside. The sky was streaked with gold and violet. The lake perfectly still. For the first time in months, I felt a strange kind of peace. As I drove away, I realized that her comment about Mark wasn't the real betrayal. It was only the symptom of something that had been dying slowly. Respect, affection, effort. She had stopped choosing me long before I stopped pretending everything was fine. I found a small motel a few towns over and checked in. The heater hummed softly in the background as I sent a brief text to a close friend, just to let him know I was okay. I didn't need comfort. I needed space to breathe. Lying there, staring at the ceiling, I finally understood. Love isn't enough when it's one-sided. Effort without reciprocation becomes exhaustion. And sometimes the hardest thing you can do is walk away, not out of anger, but because you finally recognize your own worth. That one careless comment didn't destroy us. It revealed the truth we'd both been avoiding. And once I saw it clearly, I knew I had to choose myself.